It is the final countdown at the border. In just hours, a pandemic-era policy that quickly allowed our country to expel migrants will expire, and asylum seekers are lining up as we speak in hopes of entering the U.S. So here's a live look at the line near San Ysidro border area this morning. Migrants are now required to prove they've applied for asylum online or through another country first, and if not, they face a 5-year ban from the U.S. and a felony charge. So to talk more about the crisis developing at the border, we are joined now live by immigration attorney Mackenzie Mackins. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've been watching these people line up this morning. So much chaos. And first, I want people to understand the changes now that Title 42 is expiring that is causing them to line up.
Yes, so under U.S. asylum law, anyone is entitled to present themselves at a port of entry and claim fear to return to their home country. To be clear, they're not guaranteed an outcome or a result to stay in the United States forever. But what they are entitled to is to seek asylum and go through the asylum process. And now that Title 42 will no longer be in effect, asylum seekers will be allowed to seek asylum at ports of entry and be screened. And that's the U.S. obligation under the laws today.
Sure. And as you said, no guarantee on an outcome, but it does give them some hope. Clearly, this is why they're lined up.
That's correct. So the hope would be that they can present themselves, claim fear, and then be allowed to be screened and go through the immigration process here in the United States.
Yeah, we see all this chaos and what it means for the government, for immigration laws, but also our reporter Michelle Geely was out there earlier speaking with some people, and we forget what they've been through to get here. Some of them traveled 45 days or longer. They're facing violence, poverty, and other difficult situations in their countries.
That's correct. And I think that's an important aspect that's being missed when we talk about the border crisis. People are fleeing persecution. People have been harmed in their home countries. And these policies like Title 42 were meant to be a deterrent at the port of entry. But it would be hard to deter someone who's fleeing their home country due to violence or persecution. I certainly know mothers who would do anything to protect their children, or people would do anything to come to safety here in the United States.
Certainly, I think most people can relate to that. So how does this affect Los Angeles specifically, and why do people who are not specifically connected to this crisis, why should they care?
So Los Angeles, it does affect people in Los Angeles. We're a city of immigrants. And what that means is that walking down the street, it would be hard to imagine not seeing someone or knowing someone who has not been directly impacted by immigration policies. I think people in our community have direct relationships with people seeking asylum at the border. We work with them in our community, our children go to schools with them, and so we need to care as a society to help people at the border seeking asylum to ensure a fair and humane and just process for them to seek asylum here in the United States.
All right, and clearly there is no one-size-fits-all answer here, or we wouldn't be in this crisis, but what is the Biden administration trying to do to fix the system overall?
I mean, even as recent as yesterday, President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas have announced changes in how people can apply for asylum at ports of entry. No one really knows how this will play out at the border in the days to come. I think what's important is to realize that there needs to be resources at the border for asylum officers and immigration courts, and we need to ensure these people who are fleeing persecution have a fair, just, and humane way to seek asylum here in the United States.
All right, Mackenzie, thank you so much for your insight on this. We'll continue following this story.
Thank you.